Hi, I'm Brandon. I love Hallmark royal movies.
I'm Brian. I like Hallmark royal movies.
I'm Dan. I despise Hallmark royal movies, and this is the
Deck the Hallmark Podcast.
Deck the Hallmark, it's his podcast.
Brandon and friends host this podcast. We hope you like this jolly podcast.
Well, hello, everybody. How are we today? Are we doing well?
Great.
Happy Tuesday.
Uh-huh.
Happy
Royal
start
March.
of Royal March.
Yeah.
It's a title that we gave it because
Yep.
Hallmark didn't give it. Didn't theme it.
No.
It is really interesting that they chose to do a theme but not name it.
To do a theme, connect all the movies, which I
Yeah.
think we're going to talk about later
Exactly.
at some point, and then to not
Just throw it
try
out
to
there,
do any
yeah.
marketing for it.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Well, they did. So I guess the problem that they ran into is that they did 3 of them, and then the last movie of the
Yeah.
month is that other thing.
Not, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
I feel like where there are 3, you
3
get
or
a
more
theme.
gathered, you
gathered.
theme it.
You get a theme.
You got a theme.
Yeah, yeah.
3 to theme it.
So guys, crazy thing happened to me on the way into the office today.
Ooh, can't wait to hear about it.
So I got in my car. You guys know it's an EV.
Is
Yeah,
this,
of course, man.
take the day off?
No, shout out Nissan Leaf. And
Not a sponsor.
I was driving.
No.
It was so quiet. And I had to run to the gas station before I had to get some snacks.
Yeah, of course. So, because we had
and-
snacks today.
How was your weekend?
Yeah, come on.
Come on, buddy.
This
you're
is
better than
serious,
that.
man.
So I went in and I grabbed a few things.
Anyway, where were you, bro?
Thank you. A candy here, a snacky there,
Yeah.
and I went up and I
Yeah.
I gave it to the person. They did the
Did you pay
thing.
cash? Oh, you
beep.
beeped, yeah.
Beep, beep,
And
yeah.
I said, "How much do I owe?" And you
Uh-huh.
said, "You owe me. How was your weekend?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?
I
What does
don't have that
mean?"
on me.
And I don't have that on me. Let me go talk to my buddies.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I am going to ask you guys how your weekend was, and then I got to run back and I got to make things
You
good.
gotta pay. Yeah.
I got to do a make good. Brian, how was your weekend?
Dude, very standard good weekend.
Did you start mowing the grass?
no,
yet?
no.
Yeah, did you pick up
I'm
every
looking
leaf
at it.
individually?
Yeah.
I got a lot of work to do in the yard after this storm we had. So
Yeah.
I'm way behind.
You mean the hurricane?
Yeah.
Still-
yeah.
wow.
Oh yeah, we just had stumps ground down, so now we have just chips all over the place.
Chips everywhere.
The drainage is all messed up, so we got to do some work. Yeah. So I don't really want to talk about the yard work quite yet. I'm not quite there. I did watch some birds in the backyard,
Oh, so you're getting that
you're
age.
90.
Getting up there.
Interesting.
but yeah, it looks
What
like
birds you see?
we had a lot of cardinals, male and female. So red, bright red, and
Male
also
and
the
female.
gray.
All right,
yeah.
attaboy.
Gray.
They're different colors.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah. See?
I don't know
Uh,
anything about birds.
You know what I just saw the other day?
Now you do.
It wasn't really the other day. It was, if
feel
I'm
better for
honest,
it.
it was a couple months ago.
Yeah.
But I saw a bird feeder that identifies the birds that come up
does it
and
talk
Yeah,
to you?
it's like an app. You watch the
Oh,
thing.
smart.
Really?
It's smart.
It's a smart
It's
feeder.
it's a smart feeder. And bird comes,
Yep.
takes the chows down a little bit.
Don't love
and,
that.
And then the
You
camera
get a chirp on your phone.
It goes chirp chirp, and then it says, "How's your weekend?" And then you do an IOU, and then
Sure.
it tells you that was a male pigeon.
Sure.
Something like
A
that.
male pigeon.
I hope not.
What's
Does
your,
it
what's
name-
your beef with pigeons?
That's just I'd rather the other more exotic bird.
Oh, you're an
He wants
exotic.
a more exotic
Yeah,
bird.
I mean a
What's the worst?
pigeon. I don't need the pigeon. Is like might as well be a squirrel taking
Listen,
my bird
brother,
feed.
pigeons have a place in this world.
Yeah, carrying things.
Brian, how was your Dan? How was your weekend?
It was great, man. I showed my kids their first Avenger movie ever.
Ooh,
They
big
had a
weekend.
blast with it.
Yeah.
It was Spider-Man: Homecoming, and they thought
Do you want to
they were-
share your feelings on going out of order? Or are you
It
gonna-
drove me nuts.
Oh yeah.
It's against everything I stand for. But my kids, I didn't think they were ready for the other ones, and they were ready for
Sure.
Homecoming.
I could
The-
tell something was bothering Dan the other day. I was like, "You all right, buddy?"
Dude.
He's like, "Dude, I'm twitching
like
over here."
seeing like Stark Tower destroyed in the background, and then referencing Civil War, and it's like my kids didn't ask any questions; they didn't care, but I
course.
cared deeply in my bones, and I could do nothing about it.
Mm-hmm.
So, but my kids had a blast.
Yes.
So that's really
Phew.
you know, yeah. They
You
wanted to. They for some reason they got in their head they wanted to do. They're like, can we have movie night? And I'm like, okay.
At 3 PM. Yeah.
But they normally we do a movie in the afternoon, but they were like, we want to do movie night,
yeah.
which same
Probably,
thing.
probably my kids are to
but
blame.
but my kids decided they needed to make decorations for movie night.
Yeah.
Well, that's the
obviously.
whole-
Yeah.
So my kid got construction paper and he
Uh-huh.
made rings and he stapled them all together
nice.
and he strung them up in the living room around the television for movie night.
Yeah.
Great. Just
Sure,
like
help.
the cinemas.
Yeah, it's the same thing that we do every weekend where we watch a movie, except we
This is that
started
night
it at
decoration.
we started it at 5
Right.
instead of starting at 3:30,
Yeah.
and that caused.
Movie
That's
night.
exactly right.
This is why we need decorations. It's movie night.
You think you got enough to go back to the store?
You think so?
You got enough?
Is that
currency
going to be a
there?
make good?
Let me get back to you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Wow. Okay.
I think I'm going to finish this episode
Rooting
first,
for
and then
it.
I'll
Okay,
come back and then
fair.
we'll find out.
Yeah, that line will wait.
Yeah,
Dan,
yeah,
you
yeah.
and I sat on a park bench for
You
an
and I
hour
we did.
and a half
Yeah,
or
yeah.
so.
It was our annual
That
park,
time
park
flew.
bench
That
sit.
time
it
flew.
did fly.
I looked when I got home.
I couldn't believe it.
I was like, we were there
a
for
long
an hour and a
time.
half.
See any
Yeah,
birds?
there a long time.
We didn't see any birds.
Wow.
No, we
Probably
didn't.
all
We
of
were
my
making sure
feeder.
our kids didn't die, but we weren't really
Good
looking for
looking
birds.
out. Good
Yeah,
looking
yeah,
out.
for sure.
And only minor entries. No
That's
death,
it.
only minor entries.
And
that's really all you can hope for
yeah.
at this age.
Is it
Yeah.
even a park sit if nobody?
They're all
100%.
sticks. They're all waving them around like they can't
Could
hurt
we, have put
anybody.
it, could we put it
They just
into
watched
it? Maybe.
Avengers. They're
Yeah.
Let's see how it plays out. I'm a big fan of let us see how it plays out.
yeah, it'll work itself out.
Let's talk about the Royal We, shall we? The Royal We, March
It's a
1st,
great name for a movie.
2025. And it premiered on the Hallmark Channel, and it went a little something like this. The movie kicks off with some royal music and flags, so you know what you're getting yourself into. We meet Prince Desmond, who is getting pictures taken with Princess Coralina.
Coralina?
Because they are to be married. Despite the fact that they don't really know each other very much at all. Some time passes and Desmond walks in to talk to Edwin, the butler, and catches him drawing devil horns on Princess Coralina's
catch wind
picture.
as well?
Catches wind of it. He
Did he break it?
We find out, it's always funny, guys. We find out that, can I just be honest with you guys? If you are someone that doesn't think that farts are funny, I by and large probably won't get along with you. So we find out that Princess Coralina broke things off with Desmond by eloping with a plumber. I bet he has broken some wind in his day. Desmond is going...
We're reaching new heights here. On Deck the
Desmond
Hallmark.
is doing quite fine with the breakup because he didn't really like her. His parents, on the other hand, King Richmond, bets that it's political. It's
What about
political.
King Wenceslas? What's he up?
He's
what's
doing
he
fine.
up to? Good. Okay.
Desmond,
In town at all?
yes, once.
When?
Crisp and even. I don't know.
Feast of Steve.
Desmond,
At least
Dominic.
he was good, you know.
Desmond promises. I got to be honest with you, real quick as well.
Yeah.
Dominic was here a lot longer than I thought he was last week.
Yeah.
Oh,
a
yeah?
lot of Dominic.
Found that on the tape.
Yes. As I was taking a gander at the synopsis, I was like, that was a long synopsis. Then it all came back to me.
It's crazy how often he gets called.
I know.
I don't know why. He
Desmond
does.
is so Desmond promises to make sure that their countries don't go to war. Now they were going to get married, and it was going to allow the two countries who were once one country, they broke up, and the kings are trying to work together to come up with some sort of deal that will make them not go to war, and that was part of what the marriage was about. That's the best that I can figure here. And so he remembers that Coralina has a sister, so I guess he should just marry her. Her name is Beatrix, but she lives in Boston, so she goes by B. She's working a normal job. She's in that nonprofit world, you know what I mean? And she's going through a normal breakup. She's just a normal person. She begins getting a call from a foreign number, but she doesn't want any part of it. She answers and tells them to never call back again, and she's speaking French, so that's something we now know about her. Then she walks outside, and someone is watching her through binoculars. Could be bird watching. Could be Brian bird watching. Her best friend Chloe is there, notices the person with the binoculars, and B is like, don't worry about it. I'm sure he's looking at birds. But he is not just looking at birds. In fact, they end up getting concerned because some SUVs begin to follow them. B takes them into the alley. Chloe is like, what is going on? They then corner them in the alley, and B is like, Chloe is like, I'm not going to let you get kidnapped without me. So she tags along. Find yourself a friend that will get kidnapped with you. They make it to Desmond, and she's not having it with this royal romance nonsense. But then he proposes that then he just proposes, period. She needs some time to think about this, and ultimately this proposal between the countries will help make sure that the countries can remain in peace and all that good stuff. And so they agree to just be engaged until the agreement can happen, and then they can go their separate ways. So Beatrix is back, everybody. She's no longer B, and she decides to say yes, and has one request that he stops using the royal we and starts talking in eyes, like instead of on their first night together, she convinces him to sneak out with her and go get some pizza and go bowling. They obviously get into trouble for that, but they have fun, and that's all that matters, right? Obviously, they start to enjoy each other's company. They go visit his parents. They go visit her parents. They keep having these late-night meetups, all above board. And that's good. The families end up coming to an agreement, which means that they don't have to get married. She gives him back the ring and says, hopefully next time you use this ring, it won't be for politics. I have a feeling he's going to use it again pretty soon. And here we are. They go to leave, but they realize that they actually do love each other. And so he runs back to her. She runs to him. He proposes, and she says yes, and they kiss. And then they have some wedding planning, which we see some familiar faces. And that, my friends, was the Royal We.
Did it.
We did it.
Yeah.
Let's take a quick break. We'll come back and we'll get to this movie. We'll break it down. I think
love
we
that.
should with 4 segments here on Deck
Deck
the
of
Hallmark. Good news.
Great. Good
I ran back up to QT during that break.
Yeah.
We're good.
That was a quick run there.
I'm pretty fast.
Yeah.
You ready?
In the leaf.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Watch him go.
He's lightning.
File.tv/DTH.
Good stuff.
You wouldn't be able to see me run because I'm so fast, but
Yeah.
you'd get the idea.
Yeah.
It's time for the hot takes where we share our thoughts on this movie. We do not hold back, and I'm going to start with you, Brian. Brian, a lot of people are calling for your resignation after last week's episode. Do you want to address the word out there that you should go ahead
sure.
and pack it up?
You should pack it up. Who's doing that?
Yeah, we saw some words on there suggesting goodbye microphone.
See you, Mike.
I'm not going anywhere.
That's right.
So,
Yeah, that's right.
nice
He's not
try.
going
Who was saying
anywhere.
he should go somewhere?
People really like
Some
Chase.
people.
Oh,
Yeah.
people like
Yeah.
Chase.
Yeah.
I see it.
If you want to listen, to Chase, come on over to Making a Merch
That's
podcast.
right.
That's all
you can
gotta
still
do.
get
That's
him,
how you
right?
do
Still
that.
do. What do
We
you
are
got, the
going to
movie?
trade Brian to Making the Merge for Chase with a few picks and
I
cash
think so.
considerations.
They'll have to talk
Do I
about
get
it.
a piece of that? Just for
You
picks?
like Survivor.
Yeah.
When do you get to talk about Survivor? It's not like you're no longer
right.
podcasting.
I'm up on
Yeah.
the first ep, not on your ep yet,
Okay.
but the first show.
All right, fair
I'll
enough.
catch her up.
Well, you only got a couple more days, and then the second,
The
and
new
then
one,
you're
I
really
know.
behind,
That's
and then
the
you're not going to do
problem.
it.
Yeah, then what's the point?
Go ahead.
Yeah,
What do you think about the
absolutely.
movie?
We really like this one.
You did the Royal We.
Oh, my God.
Chase, you're out.
You would
Get
never.
outta
You
here.
could never,
You could
Chase.
never come up with stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. I can pronounce algorithm. We were not.
I actually take offense to that. As somebody who struggles with
absolutely, yeah.
pronunciations.
Was I in the mood for a super contentious diplomatic relations talk this weekend? No. I've already had one of those.
Yep.
Reached my limit.
Yeah. I think we all did.
Yeah. But this is how it's done. This is the model of diplomacy I think we all need to follow. This was a sweet relief from this movie. I had a really good time. Also feel really positive about the future of this universe and this globe now that I know how it, we have a model for how things can work positively. So that was a great relief. This was really funny. It had a lot of little funny things that I caught. Obviously, all the Bruins talk of it is, say no more. I could stop there. Like,
Yeah.
They had me at, right there at the Bruins. I think that it was a really good balance of, making fun of royalness-ish and also, having the kind of stuffiness of the royal stuff. And the couple was pretty good, too. So I feel like that was, a really good balance with all that stuff. I felt that the scooter part, when we got towards the end, when the scooter ran out of gas, I think I said out loud, this movie just ran out of gas too. because that ending went on forever.
It felt like it should have been over 10 minutes before
it was brutal. It was like, do they not have anything else they can do? And then when it was over, I'm like, that was it? Like, I couldn't believe that was the end of the movie.
It was a very weird ending.
Very abrupt. But
Yeah.
they sort of won me back with the royal verse of it all, including all the other shows coming up here. So that was really clever. I just didn't like how we got to it. That was a weird ending. But some funny stuff, really good writing, clever little script. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
I agree with you, Bri. I was I went into this movie being pretty hesitant. I'm typically not a huge royal boy. That was Panda, obviously.
Yes, rest in peace, obviously.
Rest in peace, obviously.
Yeah.
And he
But-
totally liked those movies, and it wasn't.
He didn't just say it one time and then decided, oh.
Oh no!
But I really found myself enjoying this, especially the first half of the movie. Before they go, I don't even know if it's actually half, but before they go and meet the parents, when they're just in Boston, up until Boston, really enjoyed it. And was I was having
Boston should be in air quotes here, right?
sure
Yeah,
in
okay.
Boston,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like the whole like
It's a nice area of Boston.
the setup really funny. Her getting kidnapped and Chloe being like, I want to go with you. Funny. Them meeting up, the hesitation, the going on the whole excursion to bowling and stuff was really enjoyable. Once they got overseas and started dealing with the parents and stuff like that, and the whole like the countries maybe going to war and stuff. But unfortunate timing, but also just like I was a little bit more out. But overall, I enjoyed this way more than I anticipated. I went in a little bit grumpy because it was Royals, but I found myself really enjoying it, and maybe I'll start speaking in the royal we from now on. I actually kind of think it's pretty strong.
Yeah, it is.
And we're now looking forward to
really good.
where these movies are going to go. The movie,
we?
the movie
are,
ending.
yes.
The movie. I kind of was into it. When the movie ended, and granted, I thought the movie was done, and then I got pulled back into it. But it
was like a
the
stinger.
whole it was a mid-credit Marvel situation. Like seeing Andrew Walker's face, seeing the other royal people from 2 weeks from now, like seeing that they're kind of connected. I'm interested. I didn't know that was going to happen, so I'm intrigued to see if that actually holds any weight in the next two movies. And so I'm down with Royal Month, everybody. I'm down for it. I think that this might be a good time. Dan, we're going to send it over to you.
Yeah, we did not like this movie. I will say it does start off on a pretty strong foot, but it devolves quickly, and the end of this movie is unforgivable. They do the wedding veil one time, and all of a sudden they're like, what if we had anthology series for everything? What if and this is a surprise attack anthology series. We didn't know. Why do this? Why have a wedding? Like, why have a royal series in March and not advertise that they're connected? Like, why not? Like, even if it's just
Because it's fun.
it's
Yeah,
not
it was
fun.
a fun surprise.
I
Here's
would
what I
have
will
been
say.
if I knew it was it's a Stinger 64.
It's a Stinger 64, yeah.
If I knew that it
Catch
was
22 even.
if it was an anthology, I'd be like I'd be a little grumpy because
Yeah.
of previous anthologies. But now that now I'm intrigued. I don't actually know how connected these
Right.
movies
I think they're
are.
just
if
going to
that's-
tack it on at the
Yeah,
end of all
and
of
I
it.
think that I like that.
I hate it.
Okay.
But I will say this.
Okay.
Early on, Mallory Jansen gets to really give a performance in this movie because she has to use an American accent, a British accent, and speak French. And
All while being from Australia, where
And she
we've heard her
is-
speak before.
she does a great job
Yeah.
with all of that. I didn't necessarily buy the chemistry of her with the dude. I believe Carrick is his last name. That didn't really work for me. By the time we get into this plot, it is a very generic royal plot. I had the privilege of doing the Royals draft on Hallmark Movie Draft, so I've seen every Hallmark Royals movie ever made. And after the first 20 minutes, this starts hitting the beats of a pretty standard one. And then the end of it, which it's a Return of the King ending situation. This movie's ending for the last 10 minutes. They kiss, and there's like 3 more scenes, and you're just like, why isn't this movie over? Is time standing still? And then we end with a wedding planning that somehow like ropes in the other 2 stories. That didn't work for me at all. It does start off strong. Mallory Jansen is a delight, but it does not. By the time we get invested in the trappings of her having to marry this guy, I was completely out on the movie. So there you go. We've seen worse this year.
Yeah, we sure have.
Yes,
Lots worse.
I thought this was
Yeah.
quite good.
Sheila in the chat says when the movie re-aired last night, the wedding planning section wasn't in the ending.
Oh,
Wow.
That's interesting.
Do you think it was longer? Like, do you think it was a stinger?
I don't know. That's
Maybe.
interesting.
Ooh, that
Fascinating.
is fascinating. Huh.
I don't really know what to do with that
I hope-
information.
I
either.
hope it is.
But I mean, clearly some
intertwined.
time went into it because they
Yeah.
superimposed those pictures on
Yeah.
the screen.
They sure did.
Interesting.
Well, we'll find out.
But all the more reason.
I
to,
bet we could
to
find
give-
out if we had Andrew Walker. We could find that information out.
Dare to Dream.
Dare to Dream.
All that to say, should have given it a theme. That's all I'm saying.
100%.
Just theme it.
Yeah.
Just name
The
it.
Royal
Name it, claim
verse.
it. The Royal verse. Let's get to all the feels where we talk about what in this movie gave us feels. Brian.
Yeah, I mean the Bruins shout-outs, obviously. We're in a pretty tight wild card race right
Go
now.
Bees.
So thoughts and prayers, please, everybody, have us on your mind.
Yeah.
Go Bees. At one point, her friend gives her an emergency breakup kit, which it reminded me of something in my past that I had forgotten about.
Was
when,
it kids making fun of your nose?
No.
Okay.
No, it wasn't. Thanks for bringing that up, though. Thanks
I
for
didn't- your nose has never been a point of emphasis in this office, and we make fun of you all
Not
the
that
time.
I know about.
And you told us today, like
Give you
an
more
hour
ammo,
ago,
yeah.
that
But-
you were made fun of because of your nose
That's right.
growing up, and I can't believe it. Your nose looks great, bro.
Thank you, man. I've had a little work done, but so when she got the ESK, the EBK,
EBK.
it reminded me of when I was, I think, in early college or high school. I had a girlfriend, and for Christmas, her sister gave me an ESK,
Okay.
which was an emergency study kit, which was the most blatant. Oh crap! I forgot to get a gift for this guy who's coming over for Christmas time. So I'm gonna it was like snacks and a little like a lamp, like a light. And like a journal and some pencils and a pencil sharpener and all the stuff you'd need for an emergency study sesh. And she was really pumping it, like she was psyched about this idea. And I'm like, this
you
is
had
the
to act
worst.
like it was a great gift.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, cool. This will come in handy. I didn't have one of these, so great. So then, obviously, an ESK became a long-running joke with my friends in college. And so this reminded me about that because I'd forgotten all about the ESK.
The ESK.
In her defense, you do seem like somebody who would
Use
really
the
like
ESK.
that gift and would also
you.
just be fine getting a pencil for a present. Like you seem like that type of
You
guy.
seem like
I
you'd
like
be
a
down
good
for a good writing utensil. That's
Ticonderoga.
right.
Absolutely, man. So just that was my feel. So shout out ESKs.
Shout out. Was the stargazing scene believable? No. But it made me want to sneak onto the roof of the Biltmore. Wouldn't do it. Although,
No, you wouldn't.
Although,
Nor have you.
nor have
Right.
No.
Right.
although Dan, you and I did meet the Biltmore family.
We did.
And I imagine they remember us. As we
Weirdly
remember them.
shared drinks with the Biltmore family in a
and
weird situation.
I
we've
bet
never-
I could email somebody and make it happen. But that's the closest I can think about. But going on top of a castle and looking at stars, you kidding me right now? I have lots of great memories of in high school. I didn't have a lot of friends. So I'd go out and look at the stars
You're
with.
singing songs to the Orlando Magic. You have a lot of friends. You spoke at
some people
graduation.
thought I was a little weird.
You spoke at
No, I did
graduation.
have friends.
I was
That's not
about
true.
to say.
But I my
McNasty
one
out
of-
there?
I know it's McNasty, but one of my best buddies, Dave, who's still one of my best buddies, would come over and we would look at the stars and listen to Coast AM with Art Bell, and that made me think about that. Only thing was missing was people calling in and talking about aliens.
What
And that
about
would have been a
what
perfect
about
night.
Brandon Kaiser? That SOB.
Oh, why you had to bring him up?
BK, you kidding me right now? No, not talking about him.
You wouldn't invite him over to stare at the stars?
No.
Man, could have changed everything.
Could've called me names.
I don't really have feels.
What?
I didn't really.
How
have
about when he
anything.
put his hand over the guy going to fist bump him? That awkward handshake. That was a good move.
Do you have a story? Do you have a story from childhood?
Yeah,
Since
something
we
you
all.
wanna-
I mean,
We all
I
shared?
felt like I had a pretty decent number of friends growing up.
Did
It was
anybody
fun.
ever make fun of you
Yeah, I'm
for-
sure I got made fun of
for your obvious problems?
Yeah.
Like what, Brian?
No, I don't need to get into it.
Yeah. Your height.
I never was given an ESK. I can tell you that.
We know. It
That's-
shows.
It shows.
Yeah.
It shows. Yeah.
Study.
Let's-
Every study session I had was an emergency.
100%.
I would have ran out of material.
All
Yeah.
3 times that you
yeah.
studied.
Yeah.
Let's. It might be 3 too many, honestly.
Yeah. Probably.
Let's take a break. We'll come back. We'll get to the wait what's and the what the Hallmark here on
Deck the Hallmark.
Welcome back, everybody. It's time for the Wait What is where we talk about what in this movie, The Royal We, made us go, wait, pump the brakes. What? Brian?
Huh. I wasn't pumping brakes, but there were a few things.
Okay.
I didn't go too crazy. Yeah, I didn't have a lot until near the end. A few things popped up. For a very small country, they seem to have an awful lot of resources.
So many.
Like jets.
Yeah.
Food on the jets, all the motorcades, they seem to just have a lot of stuff. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Things seem to be going okay.
They were meant to be royals,
I
man.
guess so. There was never seemed to be like a real conversation about, hey, is this weird? Like, is this weird that I'm, in this relationship with this guy who was all about my sister and now it's just me? Like, it didn't feel like we could have used one of those. Like her friend just being like, hey, are you okay? Like, are you cool? Are you sure?
Yeah, I guess. I do think they just pass it along as like, this is what we have to do.
Yeah, no, I get that. But just, I don't know. Maybe as like the commoner, her friend could have just been like, I don't know, this is a little weird, right? And that, I don't know. It just felt like a missed conversation where I was just wondering, like, nobody's stopping to think that this is weird. But I guess, yeah, they're royals. This is what they do. I was underwhelmed by the conflict resolution exercise. I was actually looking forward to some good tips during that conflict resolution exercise. I thought I was going to walk away with some good stuff to use in my own conflicts in my life, but I feel like they could have done more. I feel like I could use some more tips on resolving conflict.
What a wait, what, Bri? What a great one.
Yeah.
Needed more conflict resolution tips from
go
a
little
Hallmark
harder.
royal movie.
Go a little harder. The last one was they got a grant that they had applied for
And
then
got way more money.
Yeah, she's like, amazing. We
one.
just got more. That's just not how it
That's
works.
just doesn't happen.
Like you have to
doesn't happen.
budget it and explain down to the penny what
That's
you're
right.
using the money for.
And then can you imagine asking for $50,000 or whatever, and then like, what if we gave you $150? We know you didn't write any of that
Yeah.
down, but what if we gave you
No,
$150? What if we give you 3 times
you
as much?
can't. You can't. It just doesn't.
It's
this
just
doesn't.
grant money.
Yeah.
Get outta here.
Royal grant money maybe, but it just didn't happen.
just
That's not how
grant
it
money.
goes.
I have a few. One, they like want her to work on her social media presence as princess. And so to do that, they're just letting her run her social media account by herself, making her own memes. Like with how organized like organizations are now and trying to create an image for somebody,
Yeah.
there's no way that the royal family's just like, here you go, create
Yeah.
your own memes, have fun with it. They would be doing it'd be this pristine, polished social media account, but she's just up there in the middle of the night making memes. Love that for her. I got bad news, everybody. The royal family's approval ratings are down.
Oh no.
Yeah. The princess's
no.
approval ratings are
What
down.
are they going to do?
Make a meme.
Doesn't matter.
Nothing.
It literally doesn't matter. Nothing.
That's
the
right.
points in Whose Lines Anyway
Yes.
matter more than royal approval ratings.
I don't really know what she was eating in the middle of the night, but it looked like little poop bites, and I just wanted to recognize that.
Thank you.
What?
For the record. Great.
Yeah, I just wanted it on the record.
Yeah.
They are going up to the top of the castle, as I mentioned, and he's like, "How do you know about this place?" I don't know. Maybe because she grew up there.
Yeah,
Like
come on,
as a
bud.
kid, one of the things that you do is explore every possible nook and cranny of your house. You got to come up with good hide and go seek spots,
Yeah.
all that stuff. So if you're like a kid and you have a castle, you are figuring, what is this door? Like you got no. Of course she knows all the best places and how she would get all the. How do you know about the roof? I don't know. It's the roof of the place that I grew up. But he wakes up the next day and he says, that was the best sleep
This
that
is
I've had
offensive.
in weeks.
This is offensive.
The best sleep that he had in weeks was on concrete.
On concrete. Yeah.
On top of a roof. Buddy, go to a doctor. Like that should never be the case. And I know like he was probably trying to be sweet, like this is such an amazing night, such a great time.
No.
There's and that he has a hard time sleeping, but your best night cannot like
How offensive is it that people in their mid-30s think that they can just sleep all night
you
on concrete?
can. This would be the next like
No.
3 to 4 years of my life. I would be waking up and
Recovering,
being
yeah.
like, ah,
Crack.
damn.
No, can't do it. Absolutely can't. I love early in this movie where they go to one of those classic. You're from the Massachusetts
Yeah,
area.
sure.
Classic Boston pizza place.
Yeah.
Where they have the table right on the sidewalk with a tablecloth on it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking
Dude,
about.
they're just all like
You've
they just-
been to Boston.
They set a bar at those places so high, and if you're not gonna live at that place, you forget
right.
it. And the
It's-
pizza was huge too.
Yeah, side alley in Boston, Massachusetts. Giant draped tablecloth, bowling alley next door.
Yeah.
It's just taking up the whole walkway.
Glasses outside.
Glasses
Are you kidding me?
outside. Massachusetts is just not what I visited, clearly. But they didn't have enough money for the Boston Bruins B. They had a B that wasn't Boston. And you know what's crazy is that Boston B is free. Do you know how I know that? Is because on philo.tv/DTH right now, it's on your screen. Right now,
Not paying
it's on
for
your
that.
screen. We didn't pay anything for it. So it was
I
just.
don't really know if that's how that works.
I don't think it is either. But I'm just telling you, how do you not use
We're gonna
the
get a call
Bruins
from
logo?
Philo and be like, guys, you can't wear the.
Blur
How
it
do you
out.
not
I
use-
dare you to blur it out.
Like people use the Yankees logo in the background of you'll be watching movies and somebody's a Yankees hat walking in the background. They don't have to pay for that. There's no way, right?
I think they do. I think you.
Yeah,
I
really?
think you're supposed to.
So they couldn't afford to use the Bruins logo?
I think they just don't do it. In
They don't
general.
care.
Yeah,
They just don't
I
care.
yeah,
Yeah.
like we're not gonna go get a Bruins hat.
You loved the Prince doing the thing with the fist bump.
Yeah.
And I was like, how does this guy not know what a high five
Oh,
is?
it's so
Like,
funny.
how does he not know what just a basic.
Maybe he does it on purpose.
Yeah,
that's
I
his
don't know.
move.
The weirdest way what in this movie though is there's this thing that happens all movie long where they make fun of Mallory Jansen's appearance. Mallory Jansen's appearance. Like 3 different times she's like, "Isn't my sister so beautiful? Like I had to live in that shadow my whole life." And then it's like, why are you so tall? They do that one.
Yes,
and then they're
yeah.
like, is this the best way to they basically call her angular at one point in this movie. This movie spends a weird amount of time giving Mallory Jansen an inferiority complex about the way she looks. And that is, if we can't mention that in the Wait What segment, I don't know where we mention it.
You can.
Hey, you look kind of angular here. Can we just, why are you so tall? Why are you blah, blah, blah? I mean, your sister's really beautiful. What are we doing? What's happening there? She gets a notification on her phone that this shooting star is happening at 10:30 p.m.
Yeah.
What's going on?
I just thought it would be funny.
Great. Glad you did it.
It's a nice
She gets a notification that this shooting star is happening at 10:30 p.m. She then texts the Prince and goes, if you're in the insomnia, whatever it is, the insomnia club,
Yeah.
we're going to meet. If you can't get to sleep either,
I see.
then
I'll
we'll
call
meet
that.
you at the top of the stairs. Guys, it's maybe 10 o'clock at night. They are acting like it is 2 a.m. It is 10 p.m. It is not crazy.
You know
to
where your
Because
assume-
kids are?
they have enough time to get to the top of the castle in time for the
for the
Start,
shooting
yeah,
star
that's
at
right.
10:30. Like,
right.
are we supposed to believe this is some crazy feat that they both were up at 10 p.m. because they couldn't sleep?
Why does she have that in her calendar?
I don't know, big
Like just in case?
astronomy fan.
Like if I'm up
She subscribes, I
She-
think,
you
to the
think
she
she's
newsletter.
subscribes. Yeah,
Yeah.
she
to
subscribes.
the star calendar.
Yeah, that's all I got.
It is time for what the Hallmark story. Wonder what could have been. Maybe some clarity questions we still have. What are we still wondering about? That's what this is all about, right?
Yeah, I'm wondering about Cody and whether or not he's still plumbing, because I don't know if you stop,
no.
if
No, you
you
don't
keep it.
keep
I mean,
plumbing.
you got to keep your business though, because it's got to be booming. Right?
Yeah,
Like,
I think
so
you sell the name,
You take a step back,
or you reap the
But
benefits.
I don't know if I know Cody like I think I know Cody after
Yeah,
meeting. I
yeah.
feel like he's still out there plumbing.
He's probably out there
love of the
plumbing.
game.
yeah,
Love of
might
the
be
plum.
doing it for fun.
Guys, I am concerned about the bowling friends.
You are.
I think they're killers.
Uh-huh.
They gave me strong killer vibes. Everything that from the setup of their handshake
Yep.
to then just like kind of watching, inviting themselves into kind of the
Yeah.
evening. Let me get you guys a beer. Bad energy.
Little too-
Bad
too
energy.
eager, yeah.
Bad. If I am
Can you
on,
imagine going like
maybe it's just the way that I'm wired. But if I'm on a
Brian,
date,
you're with me right
yeah.
now.
if I'm on a date and
I
I'm
don't
going
drink.
bowling,
Yeah.
don't try to insert yourself into my
Oh.
date.
But you know what's wild
Hold
is
it.
there's
I
a,
don't drink. Yes, I don't drink.
there's a group
I
of
don't like
people
beer.
that are not with us that go on
Oh,
vacation
I
and
can't.
go on dates to make
And meet
friends.
like other friends.
Whereas if my wife and I are bowling and in what universe am I going to try to make some friends to bowl with?
If I
that
lost a
evening?
bet that said I have to make a friend,
That's right. That'd be
it.
the only way.
That's
Yeah.
it.
If I'm on vacation,
guys, I'm paying for a sitter right now. Back off.
if
Like,
I'm on vacation with my wife, just like anywhere,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to make resort friends. It's not happening. No, absolutely not.
Though you need those people so they can do that with each other and leave me
Yeah,
alone.
yeah,
but,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I don't want
But
no
it
part
ain't
of
me.
we're trying to make adult friends.
that. Oh.
I didn't trust them. I'll say that much. I don't trust. I don't trust the beer. I don't
You
trust
gotta
the
be
beer.
careful.
Don't
with that,
trust the beer.
So they did invite them to the wedding. Are we going to see them?
Oh, you know they're going.
Are we going to see them in a future? I don't know how
Yes.
these are going to all shake
Oh,
out,
that-
obviously,
yes.
but they do set
That's
up.
fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
I- like
that's a good one.
They
the
kill
stinger,
all the royal
The whole royal
families.
family.
the stinger of this movie is them planning a wedding, and they talk about everyone that's going to be at the wedding, including all of the leads from the other two movies. So, is this just a fun add-on where every movie is going to show a picture of the other movies, or is the last royal movie in March going to be at this wedding? Because if it's the former, then I'm okay with it. If it's the thing that you guys are like, it was fun, then I'm fine with that. I'm fine with just like a winking, we know that this is the royal verse. If we're building towards an actual scene with all of these people, then Hallmark, you got to stop doing this. You got like, just because it worked once, you can't keep doing this. You can't keep unwrapping Christmas and the Love Club and the groomsmen and like, just don't. I don't want it. If it's just a fun, like winky face thing at the end of every movie, then I'm fine. If it's not, if it's building to something, I'm all out on it.
We did, everybody. Congratulations to us. It's time for Double Decker of the Week. It's where we dive deep into the life of a double decker. Brian, you do the deep dive. You you find out who we're talking about, and then you just kind of find out some fun nugget about
Try,
them.
yeah. Try to.
Typically, you have.
I've found some stuff.
Yeah.
I've found a little bit, yeah.
Who do we have today, Dan?
We have Melissa DeVries. Melissa DeVries.
Yeah. Melissa's been pretty busy on
Yeah.
Capitol Hill lately. Lobbying, really, for a new venture Melissa's involved in.
Okay.
Like regulations are loosening.
Sure.
Lots of different types of things are popping up. And so Melissa's trying to ride that train.
Okay.
And got a new cryptocurrency
Oh,
she's trying to get out there. And so just
Fool me once. Listen, I don't know. Need
don't-
another one of these.
are you still in?
No, I sold it.
Yeah.
No,
probably, yeah.
I've made money on it.
You did. Well, yeah, I would hope so.
Still
Yes.
on your Doge?
Yes. Even though it dipped back down over
Yeah.
the last week. Still.
Man, congrats.
Thank you, man.
But
I
Melissa's
appreciate
trying
that.
to get in on that because it's a hot area.
Okay, sure. What's her crypto?
Well, there isn't like she's just in the realm of it. And
Okay.
so it doesn't have it's not like a name of a coin or anything like
Okay.
that. She's just kind of like whatever she can dig around and find is what she's trying to get in there and get a profit with. So just kind of like
Do
digging
you
around.
know what this is?
Yeah.
What is it?
It's Melissa's crypto.
What's
currency.
it called?
It doesn't have a name. It's more about like whatever she can find.
What do you mean?
In the crypts that she's digging up.
She's digging up crypts.
Yeah, like just see what mummies are in there, and
So
like
she's
what-
using whatever she finds as currency.
that's the
bone,
hope.
The bones are her money?
Sure, or maybe jewels. Some people are
jewels.
buried with jewels, and I don't know, maybe
So
maps.
she goes around the world and digs up.
Wait,
ancient
regulations are
buried-
loosening on this?
the cryptocurrency. Yeah, and so she's just trying to like get in there a very broad definition of cryptocurrency.
Okay.
so that it includes.
So she,
She is going around the world digging up ancient tombs and looting the corpses.
well, that's she would argue against the.
am I wrong or am I right?
Right now, but again, the regulation is loosening.
So she is hoping to get permission to dig up ancient corpses and loot the bodies.
Yeah, basically. I mean, whatever is old becomes new again as it goes.
Amen.
So,
I
just want to make sure that I'm perfectly clear. The cryptocurrency that we know and have lost
is
money
not
to,
this.
but she's trying to lump
Mm-hmm.
digging up corpses and taking their stuff as cryptocurrency.
There is a value to see if there's a value there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the big
But you
push.
can't trade it like on Robinhood. It's just like
Yes,
things that you get.
that's we'll see how
She's
far
gonna-
she can
someone-
get.
far
Maybe
it
next
gets.
week someone's going to create an app for it.
We'll see who's up next week.
Yeah. I don't like it. I will
I
say
hate
that.
it.
But I
Melissa,
It's
you're
new.
lovely.
Everybody, it's a new idea.
It's a new thing.
It's a new thing she's
So
trying.
one of these days we'll all be robbing the graves. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What are they sitting in the ground for, other than for us to dig them up? I don't
Brian's
stand
All right.
behind that.
well, we did everybody. Congratulations to us. Coming back next week. I think we'll do this again. Maybe Brian will be back too. Until then, we're the first to wish you Merry Christmas.
Deck the Hallmark is a Bramble Jam podcast. It's produced by Aaron Shea. For more information on Deck the Hallmark, you can go to deckthehallmark.com. For more information on the Deck the Hallmark family, you can go to bramblejamplus.com. Deck the Hallmark is presented by Philo TV. For a free trial of Philo, go to philo.tv/DTH.